What's up? Today we have manga, 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 and manga. That's right. RightStuf finally sent my packages. That means it's time to open up some manga. Alright, so there is a good bit to cover here. It's been a while since RightStuf sent me packages. Actually, through all of April, they really didn't send much of anything. So this is pretty much a May haul with a little bit of what came at the end of April, plus like 2 or 3 volumes that didn't quite make it into the March haul that I'll just kind of rapid fire through. So let's get started. We got volumes 1, 2, 4... whoops, 3 and 5 of Yona of the Dawn. So I mentioned this in my reading log video that I had actually started reading Yona recently and that I was really loving what I have read of it so far. It's got really good action scenes, really good just art in general. I like the characters. So even though it's a shoujo, which I haven't got too much experience with, I'm liking it just as much as I would like any regular like shonen, and so I definitely recommend it to anyone who likes romance plus action that's done really well. I'm sure most people probably already know about Yona of the Dawn already, but I'm enjoying it, looking forward to continuing this. And for the last holdover from my March haul is Black Cat 17, just another addition to my Black Cat set. So I've almost got that complete, so I can start on this series pretty soon. It's definitely on my list along with Hikaru no Go once I come across volume 7 of that. And now it's time for the first box finally. Don't remember what is in most of these. I do know in one of the bigger ones I'm going to have to be pretty careful because there's something in there I don't want to show on this video and I want to do in a separate video. So I'll have to open that one a little bit off screen. But we'll go ahead and open up the small one here. RightStuf, always with the good packaging. We got a single volume here, and this is QQ Sweepers. So this was the other series along with Yona of the Dawn that I ordered back when Shoujo Beat was having a sale on RightStuf, or RightStuf was having a Shoujo Beat sale. So I got I think it's a 3-volume series that leads into another one, or maybe this is the sequel series that came from Queen's Quality. I don't remember which one's first, but I got I think I got the prequel one and then the first 2 or so of whichever one is the second one. So once I get a little bit more caught up on Yona, this is going to be my next shoujo title to try to dip into. Hopefully it'll be just as good as Yona. So funny thing I noticed on that package is it actually shipped back in January, and I don't even remember getting a notification about it. I thought that was still in RightStuf shipping limbo. So I don't know why it took 4 months to get here, but we got it, I guess, finally. Alright, so now we have another small box here. And it looks like we have 2 volumes in this one. My volume 13 of my Full Metal Alchemist Full Metal Edition. If you haven't watched my other videos, you probably should be aware that Full Metal Alchemist is my favorite series, so I love it, love everything about it, love Hiromu Arakawa's works, and it's a fantastic series if you like light fantasy tied with like government, military type stories. So art's fantastic, characters are great, definitely excited to reread this once I get the full set. And then we have volume 1 of Call of the Night. So this is a vampire story. I think it's supposed to kind of like be a slice of life comedy, but this is one that I saw a few people talking about when it first got announced for English release. So it's just another series that I'm going to give a shot with this volume 1. I'm not really going to buy a bunch of volumes like I do for some series that I am pretty certain I would like, just because this is kind of a more random pickup for me that I'm not certain I'm going to get into too much. So it'll be a good way to start it with this volume 1. Alright, next up, the first of the big boxes. This one is a chonker, and I've have no idea what's even in here. Alright, so first we've got volume 96 of One Piece. So this is continuing the Wano arc, and I stopped right after Whole Cake Island just because when it comes to One Piece, I like to try to read it arcs at a time, because if I start following it and then I'm in the middle of an arc and I've got a 2 or 3 month wait for the next volume, I'm going to get really impatient. So I'm holding on to this until Wano is more complete, and then I can finally dive into the next part of the saga. But where I left off was really great, was loving it. I did start a little bit of Wano, but didn't get too far into it. So I'll pick that back up and hopefully continue this excellent story. We've got volumes 22 and 24 of Yakitate Japan. So I'm still not quite up to these for where I'm reading, but I've talked about this in my other videos, so won't talk about it too much. Basically, it's just a shonen baking series. So if you like Shokugeki no Soma, you might check this out. But this is getting pretty close to the finale here, and I'm missing a couple volumes in between these and around these. So once RightStuf ships me those, then I'll be good to go on getting to the end of this series. Next up we have Asadora by Naoki Osawa, who is a great mangaka, does a lot of great series, and this is one that I really didn't have on my radar until a few other YouTubers started talking about it. So I don't know really anything about Asadora, but I've loved Urasawa's other works, so I have great expectations for this one too. The man's a master craftsman of stories, so if you like the other works by Naoki Urasawa, definitely check this out. It's got some nice little color pages right here at the beginning. Then we have the volumes 1 and 2 of Mermaid Saga by Romiko Takahashi. So Rumiko Takahashi is a little bit of an enigma for me, because I read a little bit of Inuyasha, a little bit of Ranma 1/2, and they were good what I read of them. It's just they didn't really have anything going to grab me for long term. It was kind of like they were just spinning their wheels a bit and not really making much progress. Heard good things about Mermaid Saga, that it's a really darker story than Takahashi's usual stuff, so I like that kind of take on mythology, so looking forward to reading this as well. Alright, so I dug deeper into the box and found volumes 21 of Yakitate Japan, 23 of Yakitate Japan, and another volume of One Piece 96. When you make a lot of RightStuf orders and you're constantly moving your cart around, it's really easy to accidentally order multiples of one volume. This is probably my second or third time doing it in the last 3 or 4 years. And usually RightStuf is pretty good about taking these back. But I think in this case, what I'll do is actually just give this away to anyone who's watching this video and might want to take part and get a free volume of One Piece. So I'll have details for that at the end of the video. Continuing the trend of digging down and finding stuff, volumes 10 and volumes 12 of Full Metal Alchemist, the Full Metal editions came in. So I'm not going to open these up just because it does kind of damage the spine to just flip them open like that with these hard covers. So probably shouldn't have done that on my other one, but anyway, again, love this series. I can't wait to just have the whole Full Metal edition on display. Very excited for them. Next up is a series that I wanted to try way before now and just have not gotten around to it, and that is Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead. I've heard nothing but great things about this. It's by the same person as Hide and Closer, so I haven't quite completed that myself, but if you read through that and liked it, this might be for you. It's about the zombie apocalypse happening, and this guy right here, he pretty much welcomes it. He wasn't happy in his past life, but the zombie apocalypse gives him a chance to do the stuff that he really could not do under the constraints of modern society. So it's definitely a different take on the zombie type of story, so will be a good thing to read pretty shortly. So next is volume 1 of Undead Unluck, a new Shonen Jump series. I know very little about it, except apparently he's undead and she's unlucky. That's all it gave me really, but I know that it's doing pretty well in Japan and has been a pretty good seller, so I'm looking forward to this. I mean, with Shonen Jump titles, I really haven't found one that I've hated ever, so I pretty much expect to like this one right off the bat as well. Alright, it's time for the last box here, So I'm gonna have to do some feeling around while I open this up. Oh, this one's tougher. Oh gosh. I don't want to spoil for me what's in it, so I'm going to have to kind of blindly feel in this box to pull out the manga. So there's volumes 1 and 2 of Magus of the Library. This is by the author of Seventh Garden, which is on hiatus, and now that this is ongoing, I don't really know if it's ever going to come back, but I've heard really good things about this, that there's amazing art in here. As you can see, this is just a gorgeous looking volume, so I think it's going to be a really great story, and maybe it was a good thing that Seventh Garden's on hiatus and this is here, because I wasn't too much feeling Seventh Garden, and I say that right after I said anything under the Shonen Jump imprint I've liked, so call me a liar. Alright, so this is one that I'm really excited about, and that is Summit of the Gods Volume 1. I saw this in a used bookstore a while ago, and RightStuf just had better prices on it, so I waited for a while to grab it. But just look at this art. It's so detailed. It's not like the more modern style, so you can definitely tell that this is a little bit of a dated book. From what I know, very limited knowledge, it's about a guy who's trying to investigate the disappearance of some famous person from history. I'm not exactly sure who that is, but it's following the clues to kind of see what happened on a mountain trek to that person. So definitely sounds like my kind of story. Really excited about this. Let me know if you have read this, or if you know any more about it and might want to give a better synopsis to the people who are maybe thinking of checking this out, because I don't feel like I'm doing it justice by what I just described. I just don't want to spoil it too much for myself by looking into it, because this is something I'm really excited to read. We have a single volume of Beauty and the Beast Girl. So from what I read online, this is more like a very wholesome Yuri monster girl story, where this girl here, she's blind, but she falls in love with this monster girl. And so because of the fact that she can't see that she's a monster or a beast girl. And so they end up falling in love because they can look past the differences each other has. So it's very sweet, I'm assuming. And I think it's just going to be a very calm read. We have one volume, actually volume 1 of Vampire Knight. So Vampire Knight is actually one of the very first manga I ever read. I weirdly only have had volume 2 all my life. I don't remember if my friend got volume 1 and I got volume 2 and we just kind of swapped for a bit, or what happened, but I remember liking it a lot, and this was admittedly back in like early high school, late middle school, so maybe it hasn't aged that well, but it's something I wanted to get back into and see if I can actually get around to finishing it this time, so I'll be starting this back up pretty shortly. Another volume of Yona of the Dawn came in this package. Volume 6 apparently has not shipped out yet, so I'm still waiting on that, but I do have volume 7 ready to go, and I think I've got a few more past this one ordered already just because I was really loving it this much. I thoroughly have enjoyed this series from what I've read. Oh, this one's sad. Haikyuu 44. It's the penultimate volume. There's only one more to go after this, and I love Haikyuu. It's probably gotten up to be my second favorite series now, behind Fullmetal Alchemist. I've just had so much fun with this, shed so many tears. Watching these boys play their hearts out in volleyball, it has just been an emotional roller coaster, and I am not ready for this to end. I'm gonna cry 1,000 times, I assure you. If you haven't checked it out, do yourself a favor and check it out. Attack on Titan 33. So now that this has ended, I'm probably going to get back into it pretty shortly. I did stop about probably, if you watch the anime, where the last season, or I think it was season 4, which is billed as the final season, around its episode 5 or 6 is about where I stopped reading, and that was partially because it was taking so long for these to come out and I kept forgetting what happened, but also because I lost my volume 29. It's somewhere in my moving boxes, and I just kind of had to stop on it for a while, so I'll be getting back into this soon, and it's kind of like Haikyuu. It's bittersweet to see this end because I've been with this series for so many years now. So something a little different, volumes 1 and 2 of H.P. Lovecraft's At the Mountains of Madness. So this is just, I think, exploring like the mythos of the Lovecraft myths. But it's like apparently a team gets to Antarctica and they just find a bunch of stuff not how it's supposed to be, and it just sets off like a kind of horror mystery type story, which very much I vibe with. I don't do straight horror a lot of the time, but if it's got a mystery component to it, I get really behind it because there's usually a lot of really good drama and tension there. Another single volume of a new series, Die Dark, by Kyu Hayashira, the author of Dorohedoro, which I'm about a third of the way through, maybe a fourth of the way. Was really enjoying that, but kind of the same thing with Attack on Titan happened. Had to pause on it for a bit. But this is her brand new series. As you can tell, it's got a kind of similar art style if you've read Dorohedoro. So don't know too much what to expect out of this one. Just that I really loved what she did on Dorohedoro so far. So I'm pretty certain I'm going to love this. And it's really shiny. Look at that. So if you're looking for something that's maybe a little bit more dark, this is probably a good pickup for you. Alright, coming to the end here, we have volume 17 of Rpgo of Blue Steel, or Rpgo, I really don't know how to pronounce it. If you're not familiar with this series, it's about submarines that are also basically girls. So, yeah, I don't know how else I can really explain that, but I read a little bit into this series so far, but it goes out of print so fast. But since I really did like what I read of the first bit, I'm just trying to keep up with it for the time being, because if you don't get these while they're in print, they become so hard to find. I think I'm only missing one at the moment, but I just kind of got lucky with the other ones I picked up. I got the final volume, volume 4 of Satoko and Nada, another series that I was really enjoying when I read it. Probably, I don't think I got to volume 3 yet, but it's just a very cute slice of life story between these two girls. They're from very different cultures and they're roommates, so they're kind of helping each other explore different things they're not familiar with and just enjoying life together. It's really very sweet. I thoroughly enjoyed what I read of this one. And then last we have volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Bakano, which is by the author of Durarara. And I love Durarara. For anyone who doesn't know me, I love how it intersects so much with different characters' storylines. And I believe this is like the full, not the full story of Bakano, but like a full arc. I'm not sure if it was a manga original arc or not, but if it's anything like Durarara, I'm really expecting to like this as well. I think it follows like a bunch of, maybe not criminals exactly, but just people who, they are involved in like the underworld a bit. They're not the best people in the world. I could be very wrong about that. That's just from my limited knowledge on this series. But looking forward to this. It's going to be a very short read, I believe. So it shouldn't take me too long to finish this up. Alright, so that does it for this haul. I'll have another video with what was also in that last box in a bit. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. So if you want to enter the giveaway for One Piece Volume 96, all you need to do is leave a comment below saying, I want to enter the giveaway, and then listing which of the manga I got in my haul you're the most excited to check out for yourself. I'll be doing the drawing for this on June 15th, so don't wait. I will have that announcement shortly. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because while it's not a requirement, that way, you'll be notified when I announce the winners. All right, that's it. Good luck to you, and thanks for watching.